Hello everyone, I'm going to be going over our lesson plan today. I'm going to start with our content standards. We have HSS 3.2. Students describe the American Indian nations in their local region long ago and in the recent past. Our substandard is 3.2.1, describe national identities, religious beliefs, customs, and various folklore traditions. Our learning objective is students will be able to describe national identities, religious beliefs, customs, and various folklore traditions through an outline, blog journal, or mind map with 6 out of 9 correct characteristics. I'm going to jump down into our explanation part of our lesson plan. We are going to start off with centers, and we're going off what we established in our K section of our KWL chart. And some guiding questions that we're going to have is, what do you think they ate? What do you think they wore? What do you think they believed? How did they live? How did their houses look? What kind of animals/crops would be found in this area? How did the landscape affect their way of life? What challenges did the geography pose? How do we know this? What evidence did we see that proves this? What do you still want to know, and what could we have missed? Some teacher talk would be that we're going to learn about different tribes in each center, and you will become an expert who will help teach your fellow classmates in a smaller group with a partner. And you will have different jobs in your group, such as like a reporter or a recorder. My fellow teachers and I will be focusing on 3 different tribes found in California. So, for example, Kelsey will be focusing on the Yahi tribe, I will be focusing on the Chumash, and then Sergio will be focusing on the, how do you say it?
There you go by the Mono.
Mono, the Mono tribe.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. So each center will go over each tribe's food, living conditions, location, clothing, religion, traditions, and we're going to be using a variety of materials such as like videos, books, pictures. So we found that some barriers might be that for UDL, some students may not prefer to learn in stations/centers, and then multiple intelligences, not all students learn the same way. Some solutions would be that students will have the opportunity to come back together as a whole class, and will as well as split into groups that have fellow expert help with collaboration. So that's going to help with students who may not like the center teaching, or they may prefer a whole class, or they may prefer small groups. We're also going to focus on differentiated instruction. Materials will be provided in various formats so the student can obtain information from different sources. Some metacognitive statements that we're focusing on is, are we masters of the content we are teaching, so that we can answer questions/guide or understanding? And then, am I checking that students are engaged and involved? Is the center model of teaching effective in this lesson, or do I need to adjust it for next time? Am I relating the information to current day cultures? Am I relating the information back to my students? Are there different perspectives in the material/sources that I'm using? And then jumping down to elaboration, we're going to focus on jigsaw groups. So we're going to have a questionnaire where we're going to give three out of 5 characteristics that were described in the centers. Complete one section of the Venn diagram listing your characteristics. Discuss as a group what similarities, and fill in the middle section of the diagram. So the group will be working on this together. Some barriers could be that some students may have a difficult time retaining the information, or they might have trouble focusing. So some solutions would be that teachers are circulating the room and giving feedback/checking in and clearing up misconceptions. And then the metacognitive statement would be, how can I model the writing process as I meet with students? So we're focusing more on the scaffolding section in Novak Chapter 8. So we want to make sure that our students are able to write down their information. So that's why we're going back and helping them understand how to do that writing process. And then we're going to see if we need to do whole class or mini lessons wherever needed. And then We are going to have a feedback session with our groups just to make sure that they're where we want them to be. And then another barrier could be that some kids might have a hesitation speaking in front of groups, so that we are going to do utilizing different strategies for explanation slash understanding, and then going to our evaluation. So we're going to correct identification of 6 out of 9 characteristics through an outline, blog journal, or mind map. So a barrier might be that students could misunderstand the cultures they learn and are they learned about are still practiced the same way currently. And then, so some solutions could be we could bring in a member of the community to come in to speak about how their cultures have changed or evolved. And then we can explain to students some of these cultures may not believe in the same thing, introduce literatures that shows updated traditions and insights. And then just some metacognitive statements. We can help students to see oppression amongst these groups. Remember to keep students engaged, try to make content as relevant as possible, and then checking in throughout to clear up misconceptions slash misunderstandings.